Hello, I hope somebody appears soon and let me know if you can guys hear me. I was mentioning when I tried to get on for the first time, and after the initial fiasco, when I expressed so many wise thoughts and nobody heard me because it didn't work, I'm wondering if I can be heard right now. So if anybody is here and can see me live again, please let me know if you can hear me. Oh, you can hear me now. Oh, that's good. Thanks, Honey Lou. And thank you. I was just saying, so much wisdom has been shared within these 2 minutes and nobody could hear it. I'm sorry. I'm joking. But yeah, thank you. I was just chatting happily. I think I just pressed the wrong, microphone thing. So anyway, I hope if anybody still joins in, otherwise, Hanilu, don't leave me because now I feel like I'm talking to myself, which is okay as well. I just didn't feel like recording a video and I haven't done live for a long time. So I thought it's an interesting topic, the best decks for relationship readings. And I want to share also a little bit from my perspective as a tarot reader and astrologer, what I was saying before in my previous attempt of my life, of their life, I said that from my experience, where people come for relationship readings to a tarot reader or astrologer, to get some advice, most of people totally know what's going on. They totally know what to do. They totally know if the partner is cheating on them or not. Deep down, everybody kind of has that knowing. I guess when we come to tarot reader, astrologer, anybody for advice, usually you kind of need some form of confirmation or maybe sometimes kick in the ass to like make you or help you make the decision. But from my perspective, hi Claudia, from my perspective, any type of relationship reading, often people kind of try not to see things that are quite obvious to an outsider. And I know it's quite difficult from, from the outside, it's easier to see these things sometimes. But I don't know. Hi, Mira. I don't know from your perspective, guys, if you do readings for other people or even if you just do it for yourself, when you have some form of, some type of relational issues and you pull cards for yourself. Do you usually need just confirmation and the cards just let you show, okay, I kind of know this, because from my experience, that's exactly how it is. Whenever people come for relationship advice, they usually don't need a tarot reader to tell them what's going on. If the boyfriend is cheating, if the girlfriend is cheating, if he is going to come back, he's not going to come back. We know that. And I think we don't want to know often, the famous question, is he or she going to come back? Usually, they probably not. Or if they will come back, you will know why they would want to come back. But I think we often don't want to see the truth. And we often want to hold on, we often want to hold on even relationships that are not very healthy for us. So personally, for me, that's my experience, that people usually know what's going on, but they really kind of don't want to let the truth sink in. And often the tarot reader, astrologer would help to, navigate and maybe help you make a decision. So from my, oh, hi Mel, from my, where am I here? From my tarot collection, I was thinking to myself, what are the best tarot decks that I personally use when I have relational questions, around astrology or around tarot? What decks would I pick to like illustrate? And I thought I love these decks to bring some form of clarity. So I like them to be clear. And I caught myself very often actually using Tarot de Marseille for relational readings, which maybe can be surprising to some people, because for many people, Tarot de Marseille is like the dry type of deck. This is Jan Doddle from Artisan Tarot. But to me, the cards connect, and especially when you get people cards or a major arcana, and when they play, when they kind of go with the minors, I see the connections, I see the eyes, I know where they're looking at, I can see if they are in contact with one another or not. And I love using Tarot de Marseille for relational readings because it's just has the simplicity. It doesn't take you into too much emotions. You can be quite objective with it, and a person that the reading is for, or when you read for yourself, can get enough information and enough kind of simple imagery to reflect what they may be feeling or be very emotional about within their own emotional body. And you guys agree, Honey Lou, you also like Tarot de Marseille. And yeah, exactly. And Mel says that it's concise answers. I think it's a very, maybe, unusual, but it works really well. So for anybody who reads at all with Tarot de Marseille, and at some point you have some relational, doesn't have to be, romantic relationship, can be friendships, can be something that you want to decipher for yourself, like what's going on in this relationship, or if you feel something is off, what could it be about, or how can I behave to improve it? Questions that are open and kind of lead you to some form of action that you can take are the best, in my opinion, for these relationship readings. Of course, we can ask questions with yes and no for Tarot de Marseille. Will he come back? Is she coming back? I don't know. Will we break up, etc. And usually what I would do, that's what I learned from Enrique Enriquez, I would just do simple. So red is yes, black is no. So if you draw any swords or wands, no, they ain't coming back. The reds, hearts, and coins, there is a possibility, and there might be still something that needs to be, reworked. So think about it this way. But is anybody else using Tarot de Marseille for relationship readings? Do you guys in general use Tarot de Marseille? Because if yes, I'm with you. I think this is a really brilliant deck. All right, another one. And here I'm just running on the traditional decks. Mira also loves Marseille. Oh, business relationships. Yeah, exactly. That's also a really good pointer. So any Rider-Waite-Smith, to me, also really great for relational readings, just because it's so expressive. This is actually Aura Shadows by Carol Herzer. I love using her decks, but in particular, Maya uses Deviant Moon. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's kind of Marseille, right? Marseille based, but it's interesting because that's quite a. See, I personally wouldn't use it, just because I don't know why I like human faces for relational readings, and sometimes thinking of my clients, I sometimes don't want to. I like neutral decks for this type of readings, but yeah, all the best to you. I love the Deviant Moon. It's really funky. But yeah, Rider-Waite-Smith, I think it's really great. We all know the painful card of Five of Cups. We know the painful card of Three of Swords. We know the wonderful card of Three of Cups, which sometimes in relationship readings can show one person too much or too many people to share the joy. Often this card showed me some betrayals, or that there is another person around the relationship that it might be just too involved in the whole kabang. It's interesting that in Tarot de Marseille, for the relationship, the Sun is much more of a relationship card than the Lovers. And in Rider-Waite-Smith, the Lovers seems to be much more of a relationship card than the Sun, if you agree. Because in Tarot de Marseille Sun, you have two people that are cooperating, working with one another. They're naked, so you can be honest, you can be yourself in the relationship. And here, the Lovers kind of take on more of this situation, I'd say. Oh yeah, Maya said that she was shocked when she did an interview. Oh, love readings. That's interesting. Yeah, I think, you can use any deck. That's awesome. I'm just usually, when I read for myself, I would have no problem with using Deviant Moon. But for the clients, I prefer, yeah, as I said, like more, just like a regular. Ah, look, what did where this Two of Cups gone? Anyway, it's gone now. But yeah, Two of Cups, beautiful relational card. So Rider-Waite-Smith, any rendition, I think it works really well. Better than Tough, in my opinion, for the relationship readings. Here we have some tough, strong group of tough people. Melanie, Honey Lou, you can disagree. But I think Rider-Waite-Smith works better for relationship readings. Another one that I found is really, really cool for relationship readings is the Beautiful Creatures Tarot. And also this booklet, it's really good. I really like this booklet. I don't know who's got this deck. Do you guys have this deck? Do you use it? I'm so surprised with this deck. I specifically very often use it with one of my regular clients whom I have sessions with every week. And this deck is just loves her. She loves it, and it loves her, gives her amazing answers, gives her amazing, like sometimes slaps, what to do, what not to do. But I wonder if you have that Beautiful Creatures in your collection. If you do, say yes, and if you don't, say no. But these are the big eyes, so I know it's not, not everybody is a fan of these decks. But together with the booklet, and I use the booklet, I'm a professional tarot reader. I totally have no fear, no shame to use during a reading, to use the book. I'm not using the book because I don't know what the card means. I just love sometimes checking out on other people's angles, and I love sometimes it gives me another idea to connect the cards and look at the cards from a different angle. If you use tarot for yourself, obviously, you're most very happy to use the books. But if you're a tarot reader for other people, are you ashamed or afraid, or you don't want to use the guidebooks in front of them because of the thought of like, oh my God, she has to check the book. She probably doesn't know what she's talking about. I totally don't have that fear. And this book is really great. And you can choose and pick, different, like each card has like a keyword. It has a little kind of information for you, keyword, energy, description, upright and reverse. And it is very relational. So each of the descriptions kind of they about you, but they put it in this relational aspect. And in court cards, they kind of like different zodiac signs. So they talk about different qualities of a person. Very good for relationship readings, this deck. Have you ever tried tough with big eyes? I reckon it might work. It probably would, to be honest. It's pretty cool because this one is like pretty straight shooter, and it gives really good readings, especially when it comes to relationship readings. So for anyone who is joining right now, we are talking about the best tarot decks for relationship readings. They doesn't have to be necessarily only romantic relationships, could be friendships, business relationships, etc. But I found this beautiful Creatures Tarot works really, really well. So what do you guys think? Is it a surprise to you? Like, for example, the Two of Cups doesn't feel very romantic. So you've got to have an open mind. But the keywords are also really cool, I think they just give another approach and another angle to the reading. So I really like it. Okay, another one that I think it's perfect for relationship readings is, I think is this. See, I like the regular reading, something that like, because to me, relationships are like the basis. So when somebody comes for a relationship advice, they don't want too much, hear too much about personal development. I mean, you always bring it back to a person, right? It's really going back to you, and you have to make a decision and you have to know. But as I mentioned in the very beginning, whoever comes for relationship advice most often knows what's going on. It's not the tarot reader, astrologer, that they inform them about it. They just need a confirmation, they need a little bit of support, they need sometimes clarity to help them to make the right decision, but deep down they know. And I think Anikah Tarot, this is the indie version, but it's the same, like the same deck from the mass market. It's also beautiful. I love this deck and the booklet as well, because it actually goes back to like regular life, you know. It describes how we feel. I also think that any deck for a relationship reading has to be expressive. I love people on the cards. I love when they have emotions attached to them, you know, when you see this dude and you asking about my partner, you know, there is like a story straight away. And I think it's very expressive. It's very good to show different ranges of emotions, different ranges of what we may feel. Yeah, try this one. It's really, really good. And it's not overwhelming on like details. It's quite open, and still every card has like emotion, like hits you in the heart. At least for me, that's how it works. And it brings it really down to, you know, how we may feel, what we may be doing. Are we trying to fight, you know, the like straw vision in our head? Do we have like, is it really an enemy, or are we trying to like, are we envisioning it, are we making it happen? It's really, really beautiful. And I think this deck is like really great. I had like really good results with this reading, and it's also quite straight shooter, and the booklet is written in the way that enhances relational reading. So I highly recommend Anikah Tarot for relational stuff. You can, guys, if you hear, write down also in the chat, like what decks do you think would be good, or what do you use? So Maya wrote that she uses Deviant Moon Tarot. Let me know what do you like using. I'm sharing the ones that I have, like, you know, experience with and that worked for me. Another one that I thought was like really great for relationship readings is Tarot de Sainte Croix. There's two versions of this deck. One is borderless. This is the older edition. But since I've used my one and edged it beautifully, red, not blue, guys. Who knows the joke can laugh now. Hi, Debbie. So yeah, we're talking about the best decks for relationship readings for people who are joining in or watching later. So again, this is kind of a regular deck. In a sense, it feels like I can be talking about, you know, something from life, issues from life. And I love using this deck, and the booklet as well. It's really good. It's emotional again. I think for relationship readings, you need to have decks that are expressive, that a card can tell a story, that it can kind of punch you in the body in different areas, and you can really watch your reaction to the cards. Very often, I also realize that when you do a relationship readings, observing what the cards reflect to you and how you react to them can be a great indication for you what truly is going on, because you might see this and you might feel, no, I'm going to fight for them, you know, but you see the kind of Queen of Wands, which may be bringing that kind of action energy, but you might feel, oh shit, like I just don't really like to see it, you know. And maybe it turns out that it's no point to fight right now. Maybe it's best to fight for yourself. Maya also uses, oh yeah, Modern Love Tarot by Ethany. I don't have this deck, but I think, yeah, it would be great. This one I totally can see it would be awesome for this. I like this one as well, because I like when the cards tell stories and I can, you know, tune in and really get something out of the image. And they don't lock me in. I like those open decks, open images, that I can go a little bit into this mythical level. But I think for relationship readings, I really want to bring it back down to earth. Claudia is using New Paladini Tarot. Yeah, exactly. When they focus on people, when there's expressions on their faces, when, for example, court cards in this deck are really cool because they're doing something that you can, do in your life as well. You can watch clouds, you can take photos. It kind of brings the reading back to earth. And I think, again, for relationship readings, if you come, that's what you want. You kind of want some practical advice and practical realizations and how you feel. Sometimes it helps to realize how you truly feel. Another one that I love is this Bright Future Tarot. I think this one is out of print. I don't know how many people have it. I was about to let it go, but then I thought, oh, I'm just going to keep it. And actually, I'm glad I kept it because it's also really cool for relationship readings. It has keywords. Sorry, it's a bit. Let me know if I can. Oh, yeah, that's maybe a bit better. It has keywords. So Four of Pentacles would be stability and status, but also it relates to the regular life. It relates back to, what we can do in life right now. So the Fool would be like the innocence. Two of Pentacles, indecision and, priorities. I love the images. They also evoke, like, for example, Two of Swords would be tension and opposition. And I love using this particular deck. I use it very often for relationship readings, and it works really well with the keywords and also with the imagery. For example, Three of Swords for arguments and anger. Some other awesome, like feeling trapped with Eight of Swords. It's beautiful kind of images, little bit different take on Queen of Cups here. She has a totally different take on the Five of Cups with atmosphere and portal, and nearly like, connecting to something like beyond the known to realize like what's going on. Or maybe sometimes with Five of Cups, we feel like we too much, like drowning in our sorrow, and that drains our energy. And we know that there's always the Two Cups that we can, walk over the little bridge and come over. Like Four of Cups, how cool, with rejection or self-pity. I think this deck is really, really cute for just regular day-to-day relationship readings. Also, the court cards have, a good take on them. And I hope she will reprint this deck. I don't know how, like, it was so readily available, but yeah, it's not so easy to get these days. So I'm sorry for showing it, but I think it's a really good one. And you can see the theme in these decks, right? Like, it's kind of showing the images. Another one, I think, it's Ancestral Path Tarot. What do you think, guys? Because this is by our dear Julie Cuccia Watts. I have this old edition, then there was this big edition. But again, a lot of people, a lot of different expressions, a lot of different situations that you can imagine what emotion would be attached to it. And I think that's what makes a good relationship deck, to read for relationships and ask questions. The artwork is a bit out there. The magician, he feels a bit like, he aged a bit, let's say. But yeah, it's quite cool. And especially this suit of the cups, which deals with all that, Five of Cups as betrayal or sadness, or somebody, letting us down, or we lost something. I think she showed it really well here in the cup suit with all the myth of Arthur going on. So that's pretty cool. So this is the Ancestral Path Tarot. And again, for relationships, I can't repeat it often enough. we always know what's going on. So sometimes listening to ourselves comes easier through witnessing different images that we can witness our response to it. And it's really helpful then to like make us realize what's going on. I have this, so mostly I'm talking about tarot decks, right? But we also have one deck that I received when I was living in Australia. It's called Relationship Cards, and it's a 50 card deck by Susan Waldman. It was published by US Game Systems. I got it as a gift from like one of my dear friends. And this is the kind of instructions of how to perform a reading with these cards. So you would pull one card, which would be like an overall situation. So the imagery is like this. This one says wealth. And then in the back, they have those descriptions. So overall situations would be, let's say, get ready for tremendous success. Prosperity paves a golden path for you now. You are being showered with blessing, which would say that maybe the relationship is in a very good state, right? And then the action for you to take would be card number 2. And the card number 2 is anger. So the action for you to take, oh, maybe it's too good to be true. So while perhaps justified, your anger blocks the solution. Anger is fear calling out for love. Get to the heart of the matter. So if the relationship is well, or maybe, you know, in the relationship, somebody, one of the people is only focused on being successful or providing or making money, and then the other person can get really like angry but not really show it. That's how I would go about reading these cards, you know. And then what can this person do? And then there is a loop question, which would be the third card. And this card says receptivity, and it says free yourself of preconceived notions of what can and cannot work. What is impossible and unlikely can and does happen. Keep an open mind and an open heart. So this is a funky oracle, I thought, and the descriptions on the cards are fairly easy to follow, and the images are kind of maybe not like amazing, but it's pretty cool. I enjoy it. And so this is the only like relationship oracle that I have that it's strictly focused on relationships, you know. It's a relationship cards. I have 4 or 5 more decks to share, and then I'm going to sign off. Claudia, what did you say? For readings for other, I like to use True Heart Intuitive Tarot because it's easy to go into the images. True Heart Intuitive Tarot. I don't think I know this one. I will have to check this out. See you, Mel. I'm catching on some electrolytes. And by the way, from people who are here, how are your relationships right now? Because Venus was with Saturn? Oh, let me just check quickly. What's today? Sun is with Pluto, and Venus is conjoining Saturn, and Venus is conjoining Neptune. So how are we feeling about this? Because I'm feeling a little bit of pressure in the personal relationship, and it's, you know, it's nothing that like will break me, but I think Saturn is always out to check for reality, do reality check. So I'm curious if you guys feeling, you know, this Venus Saturn or Venus Neptune. Sometimes we might feel the ideals being like rechecked with reality. Let me know how you feel. Another deck that I think is great, and I know nobody speaks about this deck, but this is a really cool deck. It's called Cosmosis Tarot. You feeling it, Hanilu? Yeah. And you know, I've been married since 2014. I've been married. So it's what, 10 years? Last year was 10 years. Going to 11. And you always go through different stages in your relationships. You know, I'm not even hoping for always having the rose-colored glasses on and always being amazing. You go through rough patches. And I'm feeling like not maybe a rough patches, like we're not arguing on anything. It feels more like disconnected, like bit Saturnian, bit removed, and bit kind of stale, I'd say. And sometimes, you take it a little bit more on board than other times. But yeah, I do feel this in my relationship. And I think this Sun, Pluto, and Venus, Saturn conjunctions bring out stuff to the surface as well for us to see, and for us maybe not even to fix, but to like make space for it, to just observe it, it exists. And as soon as there is no like issues that are really serious, because when issues are serious right now, Sun Pluto will bring it up, and Venus Saturn will want to like fix it, and like really it will be make it or break it kind of energy. But if the issues usually are okay and you're just having a rough patch, it's really good to make space for these feelings, and just stay with it and see how that goes. So this Cosmosis Tarot un- unasked for relationship advice from me, guys. So Cosmosis Tarot, again, not many people talk about it. I never see this deck out. I never see it on Instagram. I never see it on YouTube. I do have a review of this deck, so you can check all the cards that I'm showing. It has keywords, so for people who don't like keywords, not for you. But I love these. I love these keywords, and I like the art, and I like the court cards. And I think it's also one of the decks that goes well for relational readings. It's something that I used for my clients as well, that I use for myself, because I like how she took a like a change of the court cards and made them verbs. That's something that you do. Maybe not necessarily verbs always, because compassion is not a verb, but you bring compassion. That's what. And it's an unusual deck, unusual artwork, something that maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but it's a little bit modern, it's a little bit different, and I think the keywords are nice and they fit relational readings. So if you have this deck, Cosmosis Tarot, I think you can also try and use it for relationships. If you ever, do any readings for yourself or for others. I love this Hierophant. Sitting on the book, very cool. So yeah, this one is pretty good. And I think it just looks cool. I'm impressed by it. I like it. Okay. The next one, and I think this one is also cute, and this one goes more maybe helping you with going a little bit easier on yourself. You know how sometimes in relationships, especially when there are issues, there tend to be two ways of behavior. We either quick to judge and point fingers and blame, and you always or blame the finger on ourselves. I never, I always. There's this either blaming or like turning the blame on oneself. And I think this Cozy Witch Tarot, it's a really cute deck, because just the sentences that come with it, the images of the people, again, they're quite expressive, and it can bring a little bit of this gentle hug, gentle take on it. Sometimes it's that much you can do. You can't do anything else. You can't do any better. You can't do any more. And maybe the other person as well. And sometimes the best thing you can do is just wait things out or break things. But this deck is very cute, and anything that has humans, that shows emotions, that shows stories, is perfect for relationship readings decks, in my opinion. So Cozy Witch Tarot, really cute. I highly recommend it. While you're here, guys, I know that most of you have, but can you please hit like just for the sake of the algorithm? If you can do it for me, please do. They apparently look at us. I don't know. And Alter Tarot, another one that I think it's really cute. And I noticed a pattern here. I love decks that have keywords for relationships. It helps me somehow. Sometimes it, can block stuff, but to me, I think it's helpful. So this deck is really cool. I'm not sure if it's still available, but it was available in this French shop. And I have a review of this deck, and the shop is linked under the review. But it's a mix of divination of the playing cards and the tarot cards. And I think this one doesn't have humans, so I was surprised that I like to use this deck. No more Alter Tarot. Oh, sorry, because I like this deck. It always, again, sometimes for relationship readings, and this is maybe I will contradict myself, but most of the time I like using decks with humans that are expressive, that have some story in the cards. And I think like most of you agreed with me. Or for simplicity reasons and like really clear answers, Tarot de Marseille. But this deck is also very expressive, and it has cool keywords, and it has a little bit different take, and it doesn't have humans. And sometimes it helps to, if you very much emotional, very involved, very attached to certain amount of, to certain outcome that you would like to get, from the relationship. Yes, I want him to come back. No, we will not split up, etc. I think sometimes using decks maybe without humans might help, because it brings a little bit space for your emotional self, and you may not have to just see yourself in another, in the human in the card. So it might give you a little bit more, just a different angle to work with these emotions. And this is a cool and beautiful deck. And I love using it for readings in general. But yeah, every card has a wonderful story. Claudia, you like the tarot of oneness for the same reasons, no human. Yeah, and sometimes it's important, because you also can, I always choose decks very intentionally and intuitively for people. And sometimes the intention is not even like I see a person that comes for a reading, or like record a lot of readings, right? Because I work on Zoom, and I just go to my shelf and like grab decks. I don't even know, I don't think about it. It's a very intuitive choice for me. And this deck often comes out. For some people, it works really, really well. And whenever I see in astrology that somebody is very emotional or can be easily, not manipulated, but sometimes you have to be very careful and sensitive as a tarot reader, because people get chipped very easily, right? So you don't want to influence somebody's decision. You want them to come to a realization what they want to do or what's going on. So the decks, they don't have humans that people cannot identify so easily with, is a really good idea as well. And this deck plays out well. I'm thinking of any other deck that can be used that is in print, because Claudia said that this one is not in print anymore. And I don't know, I can't think of anything right now, but I think the Tarot of Transformation. Oh, I forgot about the ones that I use often. They hid under my notebook. What do you think, guys, about the Starseeker Tarot? I think they're brilliant for readings, for relationship readings. Whenever I use them, they just have that. I think when Nikki created this, she kind of maybe had it in mind a little bit, because a lot of descriptions in the book also can be twisted for relationship advice. So the Starseeker Tarot, I think it's like a cool deck for relationship readings. And again, here the faces are maybe not so expressive per se, because they're more kind of generic, but the feel of the card is. And I think this deck is very expressive, and it gives some sense of it communicates well with me at least. So I like using this for relationship readings, and I like some takes, on how the images created, and it's easy to make a story and feel into it. So yeah, the Starseeker Tarot, I think it's pretty cool. Like Four of Wands. Okay, so here we are. There's also Starseeker Oracle, and sometimes I use the two together because they're the same style, same author. And two more. What did I say before? I don't know. I probably lied. I'm sorry. I think Tarot of Transformation. I hope this one is still in print because I don't want to just show out of print decks. So Tarot of Transformation has a great book. It's quite psychological. This one I use often for myself or for people I know well, so I can, rather than just focus on the relationship, we go back to the root of the issue, like what's going on with us at this time when we have some issue with relationships. And this deck suits itself really well for it, because the booklet and the intention behind the deck and the take of the deck has a lot of this psychological take, and also it brings this also interesting keyword. So yes, keywords again. And we can speak about relationships with this particular deck from many different angles, from spiritual angle, from emotional angle. So it's more for people who are a bit more open to exploring, like why the relationship is in the place it is, what are we exactly doing, why are we doing it. And it can bring a lot of different layers to the reading. And I like this deck for that. It has just some purely kind of what we could call like negative, like don't do that. But it has also a lot of this positive spiritual aspects to the deck. So if somebody is a bit more on the Piscean end, likes images, likes energy, if somebody wants like harmonious, and it's kind of also Scorpios, when you want to go deeper and explore different levels, the Tarot of Transformation and the guidebook, I think it's a really great deck for relationship readings. And the last one is the Deviant Tarot, or maybe second last. Still light again. What do you think about Circle of Doors? Oh, I think Circle of Doors Tarot would be great for relationship, actually, Claudia. To be honest, I haven't used it much. That's why I didn't take it out for relationship readings. I mostly use it for myself or just for some clients. But yes, Circle of Doors would be really cool. It would be really, and look at me. It's love. It's love. So yeah, Circle of Doors and the companion book, so good. I think yes, because it asks you questions. It's quite straightforward as well. I think this is a great deck for relationship reading. So yeah, thanks, Claudia. This is a really awesome one. I think also the Deviant Tarot, again, is it in print? Not the Llewellyn version and not the version that I received from my dear friend Naomi, but with the blue frames, I think it's still in print. And again, this is like regular people, regular life going on, things that we can relate to, very expressive, very emotional. So for relationship readings, it will be really, really good deck to use. And again, it can bring just gentleness, it can bring fire, it can bring out anger. It has all these ranges of emotions in it, and really good guidebook as well, quite in-depth guide. So if anybody used Deviant Tarot or has Deviant Tarot, try it out for relationship readings. It's very cool. And I think the last one, maybe I will do Goddess of Love Tarot. What do you guys think? Maybe it's more, I like to use it for myself more than maybe for relationships per se, because it's very feminine in my opinion. But again, from the psychological perspective, if you read for yourself, if this could be also great for any like sensuality or sexuality stuff in the relationships, could be good for just evoking some images of, like looking at the image and realizing how we respond to this. I think it would be also cool for relationship readings. But as I said, this deck is like the last I would probably reach for. unless I was reading for someone I know likes to go really deep into the mythical, symbolic, because this deck has a lot of symbolism, a lot of alchemy, and as you can see, it's a little bit different to most of the other decks that I showed, but still really great for myself, especially with the guidebook. It's very helpful, and I like to use it for, kind of checking up with myself where I am, why it is as it is, and if I can or cannot do anything about it. So, Goddess of Love Tarot. Oh, and of course, I just remind you, just in case you forgot, it's blue edged, and I did paint every of the fucking moon blue. So you can watch the live with Natalia that we did at some point. And by the way, I get a lot of messages about Natalia, the tarot shrink. She is okay. She's in LA during the fires, but she's okay. She's on another side. She thanked everyone who asked about her. So just letting you know that she's fine. She's safe. And also, I want to remind you that my Where is the Fool heading in 2025 reading is going away at the end of January. 7 more days or 8 more days that this reading is available. You get astrological cycles if you choose to. You get tarot and oracle readings. You get mix of decks from Tarot de Marseille to all the other decks. And it's like a really good map and overview, especially when you get the astrological cycles for 2025 and your personal transits and personal cycles. So just throwing it out there. And I finished. This is my little list that I made: Rider Waite Smith, Marseille, Beautiful Creatures, Starseeker Tarot, Bright Future Tarot, Tarot de Saint Croix, Cozy Witch Tarot, Gaian Tarot, Ancestral Path, Anna Kay, and a couple of more, Circle of Doors, that people showed up for. So thanks, guys, for watching. So unprepared, so not YouTube worthy, but I'm sorry. I just decided today. So please give me some love. Just comment on it when you rewatch it. Click some likes for me so I get a little bit more puffed up here, because it's hard to go on and do live when you kind of haven't done it for a while. So thank you so much for you guys to be here and play with me in this unexpected live. Maria Francesca, bravo. I know, because I'm so disorganized. I should have one day when I actually do live, like once a week. And I will try to do it because I think it would be cool. I would love more community. I would love to be more in touch with you guys, maybe get some people on, on Zoom or something. That would be so cool. And it's just me. Any commitment to anything that's like once a week just freaks me out. I don't know if you guys deal with this, but I will try. I know that I would love that, because I would love to have bigger community around me on lives, and have this interaction that gives me life. You guys give me life. It's like, if not for you, I would be just now sad and probably tired, but I love the interaction. So thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for, such for sure. Exactly. Routines is like, I know I should. I know I'm an adult. I know I run a business. It would be good for my business, but oh no, don't force me. I always, oh my God, I should go, but like I always, probably oversharing, but I always admire people who say that, like, they have plan for YouTube videos. I've been recording YouTube videos since 2014. Not once did I have a plan, but I should probably have strategy. Look, I'm losing out on it, right? Like I get less views, but more. But it's nevertheless, I just have to go with what I feel, and I will go on lives and, share with you what I'm passionate about when I can and feel like it. But I will try to do one day a week. I think it would be fun. If you have any other suggestions for a free Sagittarian, what would you like to see from me? Please just drop in the box. And yeah, I try to perk up for you next time, guys, and maybe put some makeup on and maybe dress a little bit. At least I put the love thingy on. Oh, thank you, Mary Francesca. That's so nice. I see you guys later then. And thank you for watching. And I hope you can share more of your favorite relationship decks, because that's always fascinating to me. And I love to learn from you as well. So, if you're a watch, or if you can put it in the comments later, I would love to know more. Much love. Thank you. End stream.